Hello, everyone. Wow, it's so good to see so many of you at this time of the day. You guys are committed to Zero Trust. That's the really good start, guys. So welcome, everyone. I'm Nupur Goyal. I lead product marketing for our identity security and governance product. And along with me, I have two distinguished folks joining me from our project program management team, Alex Wynett and Yanan Kostica. I'll let them introduce themselves because I'm literally short of words on how amazing these folks are. But welcome, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. So there are three core areas we want to talk about, we want to cover in this session. First of all, start with why are we talking about it? What got us here? Secondly, understand what it is all about. And then finally, what you can do about it, giving you some practical steps that will help you with your Zero Trust journey. Now, before I dive in, quick question. How many of you understand Zero Trust, what Zero Trust is? Wow, I have a really good crowd today. How many of you have started your Zero Trust journey? Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. So our main goal of this session is to remove the hype that has been created around Zero Trust. Keep it simple, keep it concrete, and what you can do about it. So let's dive in. Remember this machine? This was my first desktop I started coding on. For most of you looking at the crowd, this is where you started working? Or you were already in your corporate network. You'll go log into this machine, do the coding, do the magic, and this machine would be hardwired into your building network. Nothing was shared publicly. Everything was inside the network. And all the employees would exclusively work from the corporate environment. And then, a couple of years later, the VPN allowed people to work remotely. And, but still everything was inside the network. The internet started picking up, the users' devices, but still users' devices, everything was inside this corporate network. So we built firewall around this corporate perimeter to protect us. And we were doing an amazing job, guys. Network security was all we needed at that time. So all the security conversations were around firewalls and VPNs. That was it. Good job, everyone. Who was doing that job back in those days? Great job. You were doing excellent. But then the world started to change. The launch of Salesforce app in 2000 opened the door for SaaS application in the corporate environment. Now we are talking about the SaaS applications entering your corporate environment. It's not scary yet. Hang in there. In 2002, Starbucks started allowing people, they started putting Wi-Fi in their stores, allowing people to work from their public network. Remember those times? It was so good. But the launch of iPhone changed the way we looked at phones. We use phones from just calling and texting to now we are talking about every aspect of our life, whether it's financial, social, mental, anything. Everything is on our phone right now in our pockets. Then we are talking about the Fitbit trackers. Their launch was additional devices that we are sharing our information with. This whole, opened the stack of other devices that are in your network that you are sharing your data with. And in 2011, Office 365 app was launched, which is still the largest used productivity app. And yesterday, I think they announced the new mobile app combining PowerPoint, Word, Excel in just a new app. That's pretty amazing. It's still very popular, and they're doing an amazing job. This whole technical advancement around us, and with the interconnectivity, we created a world where it's no longer required for us, our employees, our users to be in a physical space to collaborate. Even think about our users. They are now your employees, your contractors, your partners, your customers, all these users who need access to your corporate data from wherever they are and whatever device they are on, including their personal devices. Now, with the sheer amount of users, the devices, and the various aspect of data, various level of data access, we have created a world where protecting the information is very, very challenging. Because all these imagine the billions point of access with all these users, all these devices, all these applications. And all these point of access can be easily converted into a point of exposure. And those billion point of exposures are what you have to be worried about, that you are worried about. Because Now, all your resources, whether it's machine on your network, are just the node on the internet. It's a compute node on the network, whether it's your machine on your internet, on a SaaS vendor running on a massive data center. It doesn't matter. Everything is out there, guys. Everything else is there. And that's the reason we started talking about the world has changed. The world has changed. We keep on hearing what has changed. So when I started doing some research, okay, I should show some number. I was blown away. These numbers were pretty much zero back in 1990s. Now we are talking about 94% of companies today, they are using cloud in some or the other way. We have billions of devices connect to the network. And more organizations are dependent on employees bringing their devices to work. The BYODs, they are dependent on you to bring your device and be productive. So the way we have worked has also changed. With the emergence of mobile workforce, cloud technologies, and ubiquitous access to corporate data, it has become more and more significant challenge to protect your corporate data now. So what should we do about it? That's when, I kept on thinking, what changed? What changed the way we programmed our security infrastructure? So all the assumptions that served as a foundation pillar in our security strategy are kind of challenged now, or I should say irrelevant. Think about your users were just your employees, and now they are employees, contractors, partners, everyone. You're thinking about just the devices that are corporately managed, or I should say corporate-owned devices are no longer exist. It's more like, employee-owned devices or any other device that you want to work on, you want to be productive on. Thinking about the applications from a world of wholly on-premises application, now you're talking about the abundance of cloud applications. You're talking about, initially I have this corporate network around, I have this firewall around my corporate network. Now you're talking about the perimeter that is expanding to every access point that's right there. You're talking about, even you think about how much as a network person, how much of data that you have today to analyze. Thinking about all those access points, you have overwhelming source of really good data, really good signals that is available to you. And that's why we started talking about a modern approach to security. Okay, what is modern approach to security? You hear zero trust, you hear all that hype around it. But you know what? One of the things I had in mind for this talk is to take you where it all started from. This is not the concept that was invented 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. This is where it all started. So you have been hearing a lot of terms, zero trust, Carta, software-defined parameters, beyond curb, and different ways that people are trying to own the concept of zero trust and commercializing a fairly established idea. Because this idea goes back earlier into 2004. This was first introduced as a concept of deparameterization by a security consortium called Jericho Forum. Bunch of CISOs sitting in a room, really smart folks, good ideas, very forward thinking. They came up and talked about they talked about deparameterization. In 2009, Operation Aurora happened. Anyone remembers? Of course you do. Most of you have heard some aspect of it, a nationwide attack against private companies. Brutal. And then in 2010, John Kinderwag of Forrester coined the term zero trust. And this term, he introduced a paper, Building Your Security in Your DNA, Your Zero Trust Architecture. It's a really good paper, really good read, and started talking about the concept of zero trust. In 2014, Google embodied some of the concept that was discussed in Jericho Forum in 2004 and laid out an implementation plan and called it Beyond Curb. That took off. That made everyone realize that this is much more than a concept. This is something that can be implemented at scale. This is something I can implement in my own environment because I'm seeing someone else do it. And then came the rush afterwards of the people trying to sell the ideas of zero trust and commercialize and make money out of it. Now, from an MFA vendor to a firewall vendor to anyone, you see a lot of zero trust solutions floating around. So if I take a step back and explain what zero trust means in a very simple manner, Zero trust is an approach to security which treats every access attempt as if it's originating from an untrusted network. Doesn't matter where your user is, your device is, whether it's machine to machine, whether it's user to machine, whether it's whatever you're trying to access, whatever someone is trying to access, whatever your machine is trying to access. Every request is verified in real time. So we have a lot to cover, and I would like to invite, and we want to go deep into what it really means for you in your real-time environment. So I would like to call an industry expert, a thought leader in identity security space, and one of my very good friends, Alex Weiner, on stage. Alex?
Good job. Great. 11 minutes. Perfect. She was awesome, right? Did a good job. All right. It's hot, but I packed this jacket from Seattle, and I'm going to wear it. So when we looked at doing this talk, one of the things that I was pretty insistent on was that I really wanted everybody to leave here with sort of no fog around these concepts. So we're going to do two more things. I'm going to go through and talk to you a little bit about the principles and the way that I think you can think about this space. And then Yanan's going to take you through some sort of practical next steps to take, depending on where you are on your journey. But here's the thing that I want to start and end with. This is your journey, right? Where you are in terms of the expertise you have, the deployments of security infrastructure you have, the work you've done over the last however many years you've been doing this kind of work, informs the way you will approach this problem. When we look at the definition of zero trust here, this is not a complex definition, right? All it really says is the complacency with which we approached assuming that our firewalls would hold and our VPNs would hold, and that it was fine for us to operate the way Microsoft operated in 1995 when I wandered rampant through the FTP servers looking for code, because the firewalls didn't hold against me, right? And this was a true thing that happened a long time ago. I'll have a beverage of your choice with you later and tell you the story. The firewall approach never really worked, right? From the day that we connected our networks to the public internet, right, to public networks, it was even a well-intentioned, well-designed approach to perimeter security had the problem of not keeping up with the advances that the attackers were making. So new ways were found through, and how fast can you respond to that new playbook? And so what Kinderberg and others were basically saying was really simple, was stop trusting the integrity of the interior of your walled garden. Right? The paper, No More Chewy Centers, is a nice one. I think it was 2016 that was written. And that was saying, the M&M model of like, if I can keep the hard shell together, then I can have a chewy center. But don't do that. So it's a simple concept, right? Really easy. And what it basically says is that we're operating in a threat environment. And if you're operating in a threat environment, you don't get complacent. So really simple concept. Everyone here should be able to sort of, no big deal, right? So if we think about what are the things we hear, and what's the sort of, okay, as Nooper pointed out, boy, did the hype take off. It got really exciting, right? And if you were at RSA last year, for example, and you walked around the booths, it was hard to find a booth that didn't say zero trust on it somewhere, right? Everybody has a solution to zero trust, because of course, if you're operating in a threat environment, then any security tool might help you, right? If I'm on a battlefield, like an axe could be handy. It could be good to find like a shield, like whatever. But how you're going to apply that is a function of how you are going to, what your skills are, right? As I'm going into a D&D metaphor unintentionally here. So things that zero trust isn't, right? So blowing away some fog. Zero trust isn't literal. Never trust, always verify. Everything's suspect, right? The problem is with that statement is that you're not going to build a practical incremental strategy, and you have to make progress. So the question here is, where do you feel safest and where do you feel like your biggest blind spots are, right? But you can approach this, I think a statement like never trust, always verify is useful for changing your mindset, but it's not particularly useful for actually getting work done, right? So think of it in terms of like, all right, what are the parts of my infrastructure that I feel pretty good about? Time has tested them. I'm feeling like those are good. What are the places where I know I have blind spots? How do I move forward in those places? There's always going to be some chain of trust, right? Or you're going to run around like all the time. You don't want to run around like that all the time. It's not flattering. So, so the question here is, what are the things you can anchor your trust into, right? I think Mark's around here somewhere, right? Yes, Mark anchors his chain of trust in whatever's in that briefcase. We don't know what it is. Nobody's really sure. We think it might be a donut. But you have to have something you can anchor to, right? So it's not literal, be reasonable. It's also not an adjective. You're not going to arrive, right? You're not going to get to a place where you say, now I am zero trust. My architecture is zero trust. I know there are pervasive threats in the environment, and yet I'm done. I'm perfectly safe, right? We assume attackers will no longer evolve. That's not going to happen. So you're not going to arrive. It's not an adjective. It's not for sale, as much as we might want it to be, as much as everybody on the show floor might want you to believe it is. Even our awesome products will not make you zero trust. You can't just buy it, right? Lots of different tools can help you on your journey, but it's your journey. And one of the important things here is you can use different concepts for this. One might be like if you think about cleaning a messy room, you want to start in a corner and get it arranged, right? Don't try to fix everything all at once. Again, the key here is practical progress, right? Kind of moving forward off of the old position. And then again, it's your journey, build on what you've got. Who here really thinks that the firewall is all they need in their environment? Come on, show of hands, really? Nobody? Oh, yeah. So you're already all on this journey, right? You're already moving forward. So everybody here has skills and wisdom that they can apply to the problem space, right? So it's not a revolution. Things like defense in depth are applicable. Things like network segmentation are applicable. Things like multi-factor authentication are applicable. This is all important stuff. The main thing is, remember, no complacency. Okay, so the biggest value, in my opinion, in zero trust conversation is the mindset shift, right? This is the thing that I think people are really pinning to. And this idea that you want to operate as though you're in a pervasive threat environment. So I've talked at some length with Chase Cunningham from Forrester, and he's done a lot of writing and thinking on zero trust. And Chase is a combat veteran, right? So he has this sort of way of thinking about, like if you imagine pitching a pump tent, in a hostile environment, you're not going to last too long, right? So the question is, how do you approach moving in the environment in a way that assumes that there are bad actors in that environment? And so when you assume pervasive risk, you behave differently. And so the next few things are some principles that in conversations I've had and with customers that I've worked with have been useful ways to think about zero trust. So the first here is that if you behave as though everything is on the open internet, you let go of the assumptions, right? If you assume that all of the resources, all the file shares, all the whatevers you've got that you're trying to protect are on the open internet, then you tend to let go of assumptions pretty quickly, right? You don't have this concept of safe zones. And for some customers, what's worked really well for them is to be aggressive about moving to the cloud. So we have several large, more than 100,000 user customers who've basically gone all in and have just shifted. Right? They've lifted and shifted apps to the cloud. They've moved identity to the cloud. They're using cloud-based MDM and cloud-based intelligence. And the nice thing about that for them is it puts them on a footing that is roughly equal to that of the attackers. Right? Because the attackers are there, and they know they're there, and they know where the gaps are. And now you're having to confront the same facts. The attackers can share data and leverage data from other attackers, and now you can share data and leverage data from other defenders. Right? And so it's a good world to be in to start thinking in those terms. Even if you don't really move everything, think in those terms. Another important concept is this concept of triangulation. Right? So if we don't trust anything completely, right, we want to triangulate the way that we look at things. So instead of just saying, for example, I feel good about this login because there was MFA, I can say I feel good about this login because there was MFA, and it's from a trusted network, and it's from a known device. Right? And the chances of all three of those systems failing is low, right? The other thing you can think about is the controls you put on the environment. So, using the same kind of an example, if I regulate access based on not just one data point, but on multiple, right? If I say that for someone to get access to this resource, they need to be in the correct role, and their device must have passed a recent, malware scan or, endpoint protection, and the network segment must be correct, right? So I'm taking multiple different data points, both for intelligence and for control. Who has seen, was disappointed in the end of the Song of Fire and Ice, but managed to roll into Chernobyl on HBO. Yes? Okay. So people who've seen Chernobyl, that was quite a movie or quite a series. And the whole thing was about essentially a lack of a containment plan, right? People who assumed things would never go wrong. And there's this incredible set of scenes where they're trying to put containment around the fire. And they're destroying hundreds of square miles of land and bad things are happening. In roughly that same time period, there was another nuclear error, right, at 3 Mile Island, which we don't really talk about, and HBO is not likely to make a movie about, because what happened was bad things happened, but it stayed in a dome. It was okay. We all worried a lot. I'm old enough to remember the event. We all worried a whole bunch, but not a whole lot happened, right? Because we assumed breach in that situation, right? And so this idea that you assume that any part of your network, part of your environment, any account can be broken, what's your strategy for containing the damage once it happens, right? So thinking through that. And again, this is all wisdom that you can apply. You understand how to do this in your enterprise best. A plug I'd like to make here is that when we think about applying technologies, that security is proven by time and lack of breach. And that's about it, right? You're not going to mathematically prove something to be secure. You're not really very wise if you assume that the person who tells you, I have a new thing and it's going to solve security, is right, right? So your best bet for security is resiliency to a lot of traffic, right? And so things like OAuth and SAML have been through the fight, right? And we understand where the gaps are. We understand how to model around those things. So thinking in terms of standards and applying standards-based technology so that you're not relying on the person who is super innovative in, say, a CRM system to be super innovative in crypto, right? Let the people who do security, and the people who do login, and let bet on those standards, and expect that the people you work with will bet on those standards. And then the last thing I want to say in this section is that if you feel like you've got too many great candidates in cybersecurity, just send them to me. Because I'll take care of it. I'll hire them. But most of us are fighting really hard to find people who can keep up, right? If you look at the increasing rate of attacks, we've seen about a 300% rate of identity attack increase over the last 2 years. And when you look at that volume of intensity and combine that with the digital transformation most folks are going through, where they're actually processing more data, writing more apps, doing more customization, trying to create a better employee experience and a better customer experience. And all of that comes together into these volumes of data and volumes of attacks that you've never seen before. And yet we have this massive shortfall in terms of the number of cybersecurity experts we can hire, right? And even if you could hire them, the amount of time it takes, Yunan has a great slide on this, he didn't send me, so I don't have it. But the amount of time it takes for somebody to go from stealing creds to using those creds is typically sub 1 hour. From having the creds that work to getting through the VPN can be 24 hours. From having punctured the VPN to taking over the domain, something like 48 hours. Really fast time frames. So response times matter. By the way, average time to respond to an attack, it's like 140 days. Okay? So there's a problem there. And so you need to be automating. You need to be thinking a lot about everything from self-help processes to ticket response, how do you integrate with ticketing systems out of the data you're getting, and then most importantly, automatic lockdown. So if you see a threatening login, don't let it through, right? If you see a machine that's definitely infected, take it off the network. There's things you can do through automation. If you're working in a SOC environment only, where you're saying, okay, let me look through the attacks that got me today, and see how bad the damage is today, it's a kind of a bummer, right? You want to be in front of it. It's much more fun to say, look at all the attacks I blocked today, right? About 300 million, by the way, for us today. So just in identity. We wrote, Yunan and Nupur and I collaborated with some other folks at Microsoft and wrote a paper on zero trust and on a maturity model for that. And we sort of landed on a summary of all these principles as follows, which is, just sort of 3 things to keep in your head, right? Explicit verification of all the elements of access. Really trying to do containment, breach containment, segmenting not just on the network, but thinking about segmenting by role, by application, by time of day, whatever you've got. And then, importantly, an assume breach mentality. And so, if you kind of go through this pattern of, again, every access attempt is coming from a hostile environment, then that's kind of the mindset you want to be in. I'm going to end on something very fluffy. This is your journey, right? This is not, there's not a single-size roadmap that fits this, so we're going to give you all the guidance we can. But there's no, one way to do this. Again, it depends on the infrastructure you've got, the wisdom you've got, the resources you've got, the priorities that you're responding to. However, there are some interesting things about this picture. You would not want to be in this water. This water is about 45 degrees. Yet we're navigating it successfully. You wouldn't want to hit those rocks, right? You want to pay attention to what's happening there. Yet we're navigating it successfully, right? With the right gear and the right attitude and the right awareness, a threat environment can be a fun place to navigate, right? As long as you're successful in doing it. It's a bummer if the boat sinks, right? But this is your journey and you can navigate it successfully. I want to invite up Jeremy from Comcast to come up and, you want to come on up? Jerry from Comcast to come up and share kind of his approach in terms of the journey that Comcast has been on in their enterprise zero trust journey.
Thank you, Alex. It's great to be here today.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. You want to say anything about Comcast?
Yeah, so I'd like to start out by just understanding how many people here are Comcast customers. Cable, internet, mobile. You watch NBC, you watch movies from Universal Studios. Maybe you go and are using Sky Internet in the UK. So just want to thank you all for being customers. And we're on this journey also in order to make our enterprise better and be able to serve you better.
So how's Zero Trust sort of impacted your approach to securing your environment?
Yeah, so we've absolutely adopted this mindset. There's many different levels of security, but at least on the authentication landscape, we're assuming that every user is coming from a hostile environment.
Great. So where did you start?
So if you go to the next chart, we took the approach of starting at the authentication point of view. So we looked at two things. One is users, and the other is applications. So from a user perspective, the first thing we did is make sure all of our users had multi-factor authentication or strong authentication to allow them to log in. It was a little problematic, and we had to do some more research when we were looking at programmatic accounts, non-interactive accounts, to make sure we had strong authentication methodologies and design principles that we could apply. Second type of account we looked at was our guests, our business partners. For those type of users, we looked at Azure B2B. We did a federated approach and allowed those users to use the same username and password that they're using to log into their computers. It's sending them over, they're using that to authenticate, and when the home organization deprovisions those accounts, the users lose access to our applications. So by using this federated model, either using B2B federation or the new one-time passcode that goes via email, the home company is disabling those accounts. The second thing, as I said, we did was applications. So we onboarded both our cloud and our on-premise applications to an IDP using modern authentication. When we first started the journey, we actually used 3 IDPs. And we quickly learned that we really should be focusing on a single IDP so we can take advantage of everything we're putting in place and reduce the overhead. So now we're onboarding all of our apps to a single IDP, and we're working through the migration to get everything off of our multiple IDPs onto a single platform.
Oh, very cool. So you're sort of anchoring in strong identity and single sign-on. And then what were you doing about breach containment?
So for breach containment, to me, we were ready to move to that next level. We already hardened our identities. We got our applications using modern authentication. And now that next level really is conditional access. So what we did with conditional access is we're taking the signals that are coming out of the authentication process, and we're applying different actions, whether it is enforcing the user to MFA, so we could step them up to MFA. Maybe they're coming from a more hostile environment. We're getting some signals that we're worried about them. We could send user actions such as change your password, or maybe they're coming from a really risky environment. The risk score comes back as really high. We could just block their access and not let them access anything until they move to a less risky environment.
Right on. So what's next for you?
So right now, we're on the next step of our journey. We're trying to get more signals available to us. So we are taking advantage of technologies we already have. So we're leveraging Jamf and SCCM. With Jamf, we're connecting that to Intune and registering our devices directly into Intune. With SCCM, we're going co-management. And when it comes to our mobile devices, we're migrating them to a single MDM platform inside Intune. The reason we're doing all this is we want to understand what is a corporate compliant device. Once we know what's a corporate compliant device, we could actually use that, leverage those signals, and take different types of actions. For example, maybe as my user's coming in from a corporate device, I'm going to give them a longer token lifetime, or I'm going to let them have a persistent browser. But if another user's coming in over here from grandma's PC, I'm going to give them less access. I may even deny them access from some of our most sensitive corporate apps, maybe financial apps or different type of applications I don't want them to access.
Super cool, super cool. So you got good, strong identity, just summing up, breach containment. You're moving into device strength and triangulating from that signal and helping to contain on that side as well.
Yeah, we think in our journey there's different aspects of Zero Trust. We started our journey focusing on the authentication aspect. We wanted to make sure that we knew who was accessing what app and what they should have access to, and layer that into our overall strategy. And I know everyone here is on their own journey, and I hope this could help you understand some base principles that we applied to help you with your journey.
Super cool. Thanks so much. Really
Alex.
appreciate it. Thanks for being here. All right. So I would like to, best by show of hands, does anyone here use Azure Security Center? Okay. Microsoft Cloud App Security, which just happens to be in the leaders quadrant way over on the right. Azure ATP for users, looking at on-prem signal. All right. The luminary, my next speaker, Yanan is the leader of the PM leader of those products. So I'd like to invite him up to actually bring you some practical kind of next steps advice on how to proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. I'm here actually to bring it down with making Zero Trust a reality. We believe that you all have the tools to start this journey, and I want to show you how. And we really think you have them. So let's start. Before we start with actual things you can do, you need to set the stage. And when you start going to that Zero Trust process, you want first to make sure that you know what Zero Trust is. I hope that this session really gave you a clear understanding that it's not everything that Alex said, it's not. And it's something that we can start all as a journey to get to a more secured state. So this is the first thing. And the second thing, because it crosses all of your IT departments, one of the important things is to establish your V team. So you need to make sure you have the stakeholders across the different teams. So you need device management and identity and networking, and we'll see these teams, and you need to work together in order to steer the boat, as Alex showed you, to that right place, because you will need to work together. It's not a one-team effort. It's like all of your teams together. Then you need to assess where you are. Alex mentioned the paper that we released. You can really go, aka MS-ZT model, download it. It gives you a really clear way to assess where you are, every single team, where you are today. Are you in a traditional mode? Are you in advanced mode? Or are you in optimal? It will also give you a good understanding of what is a North Star for you, so you can really decide where do you want to go next. And last, you will need to invest lots of resources in it, internally. Teams will need to do, experiences for users will change, and therefore you need to have a full buy-in from your C-level, so they know that you are, as a company, you're heading that way. Once you have all of that, we can go into the architecture. This is also part of that paper. I will cover it briefly. I think it's, can you read? Yeah, I think you can. If not, I can, yeah, it works. Okay, great. So first, we want to look at the entire overview of your environment. We try to simplify it as much as possible to give the main principles of how your architecture should look like in order to move to that Zero Trust model. So first, we look at the conditions on access. You have two very important things that happen with every login, with every access. You have the identity and you have the device. The identity, as we've seen by Jerry, the most important thing, have like an identity provider, strong authentication, and then you can also leverage the user and session risk that goes into a security policy enforcement. You have the same thing for device. You want to differentiate what is a managed device and grandma's computer, an unmanaged device. And then you want to include two things, the device identity and then device risk and compliance. All of these go to a single security policy enforcement engine that actually drives actions across the different layers in the next piece. What are the next layers? And we try to look at the different teams. We really think of the personas, the teams that will need to do something in order to become more zero trust, right? So first you have the networking team. Then you have infrastructure. Infrastructure means everything that you manage from the app from the workload to the infra, to the servers, and to the application. So if you have a DevOps, these are your DevOps folks, and they will need to change the way their environment looks like, so it will be also zero trust enabled, and we will see what it means in reality. Then you have the applications, in the sense exactly like Jerry mentioned. I really like the way Jerry positioned it, because you need to think about every app that your users consume. You have applications, you have your own line of business apps and SaaS applications. Your users consume them, they access them, and you want to be able to have adaptive access to them, so to have the controls. Exactly the words that Jerry used. And last, you want to look at data, regardless of where it comes. It doesn't matter if it comes through an application, OneDrive, an email, another cloud. You want to be able to see your data, classify, label, and protect it, so it doesn't matter where it travels and who is using it, where it is still protected. So these are the layers that we decided to outline. And now, in order to, who is here in the identity team? Okay, so this is your to-do list. I hope you're well, this is clear from everything we've said, that these are very concrete steps, and I think you all own the technology in order to do that. That's the good stuff. First, connect all of your apps to a single sign-on solution, a single sign-on solution, like Jerry mentioned. You want to have all of the goodness of the identity in one place, so you can leverage it across the board, across all of your apps. Second, put a strong authentication in place. This is where you start benefiting from that single identity, because you know that you have multi-factor when there is risk to it. Lastly, add more policy-based access policies. Okay, so you want to control every access with their own policies. Again, you have a sensitive app. Okay, do a policy to block access if the conditions don't meet your requirements. You should go ahead and do that. It's okay to block lower, high-risk sessions. You can also use, and we will see there are other tools to do that, to actually enforce it even into the application, but you should be empowered to do this risk-based and policy-based access. This is how success looks like. So you have a conditional access panel, you set policies, and your users, when they want to actually log in from a place that is a higher risk, will require to show more. Not only log in, they will require to, for instance, MFAs themselves. So this is success for identity, and now we move to device. You want to domain join your device. Do it with Azure AD Hybrid, so you can benefit, again, from all of the goodness that you have in the cloud. You have the Windows Hello. You have the single sign-on. All of these will actually be propagated into your device so the experience is holistic. Then you want to implement MDM. This is in order to get the compliance posture of the devices. You want to set policies on what is good and what is bad. And what is bad, you can actually go back to the last chapter and actually block it. And then you want to enhance this with what we call endpoint threat risk. So if you have an EDR, like Defender ATP, that actually plug in the risk into the same concept, you can take it into a different level. It's not only about compliance and security, it's also about the risks that you actually see from the device. You do these 3 steps, and you have the conditions that you need in order to set across identity and device literally 90% of the policies you would like to have across the org. So this is for device management. Again, this is how success looks like. You have a dashboard, you see all the devices, you see how many are compliant, how many are enrolled, and you know that you know your landscape. one before last, network and infrastructure. So we put them together. First, you want to have visibility on your workloads. Super important. You have a cloud workload like Azure Security Center, but you need to have visibility into your workloads, so you start mapping them and understand the relationships of what is a workload, how many servers you've got there, how many PaaS services I've got there, and start really having this visibility into their security posture. We have tools like Azure Secure Score to help you understand the state, because you don't have visibility necessarily into every single workload, let alone know when it's managed by the DevOps teams. So you need to create that visibility. And then going back to containment, containment is not about doing micro-segmentation for everything. Start thinking about your micro-perimeters. You want to really close down as much as possible. Put these resources there. So even if they are breached, there will be no lateral movement into another application. And think about this. It really makes a lot. In the cloud, it is very easy to do that. You can really configure per subscription, per team, and start segmenting. Don't put all of your apps in one place, one network, and just hope that none of them will get breached. It will. Just make sure it's contained. It's okay. Just make sure it is contained. So this micro perimeter, and then you can also add on every one of them additional threat protection. If you do it with cloud native capabilities, it will be a much faster process for you and a much more scalable way to do that. So in the cloud, it's actually much easier to implement this concept. And lastly, go back to your workload protection and start reducing the attack surface. Okay, so think about lateral movement. It uses attack surfaces that you open in your workloads, open ports. You have applications that you run and you can actually turn off. You have identities that you should just remove privileges. So go back to your workloads and continue to remove attack surface. When we think, this is, just to show you, this is how you can measure your success. This is a tool that helps you to visualize your network, your VNets, subnets, and workloads in Azure. You can use it in order to really see, and we lay over recommendation where we think you are over permissive. So use this to overlay your recommendations, and you can use it to break down. Last, perform shadow IT discovery. Very important. Otherwise, you don't know what you need to control. Second, agree on a label taxonomy for your classification. We offer you out-of-the-box taxonomy so you can leverage and apply it across the board. Believe us, in Microsoft, we give you the same thing by default as we use in Microsoft, and we have been through at least a few versions of this. And we're now pretty settled on what we offer you. Use the default. If you really want, you can change it, but you can start. And last, apply real-time protection on high-risk scenarios. Like we said, if you have a user that has to connect to an application from a high-risk scenario, you can actually sandbox that and allow what we call conditional access app control, where we proxy the session and control it in real time to put guardrails into the session. This is success for Shadow IT. You can know your cloud. This is success for a classification program in place. You have this labeling capability. Everything starts by default with general, and then your users start like putting their classification. And last, this is success for application controls. So you can block access, view-only mode in the cloud, for instance, if the device is unmanaged. And with that, please go AKMS Zero-Trust. That is a new page that we stood up for all our Zero Trust content. At Microsoft today, we are going to invest heavily in order to give you the tools that you can use in order to start your cloud journey. And with that, we wanted to wish you good luck. It's your journey. And Microsoft is here for you with all the tools. So thank you, Nupur. Thank you, Alex. Thank you all for joining. And I hope you have a great Ignite.